Moomin begins a new life. What's up with you ants? Why aren't you working? The prophet says that the nature will take care of us. Where's your husband? I don't know. The prophet says that I must be free. What prophet? What do they mean? Are you eating up what you saved for the winter? The prophet says we only live once. Are you shutting the milk bar?
The prophet says we must be happier.
But who is this prophet?
I don't know, but look, he's sitting over there. Eat, drink, and be happy. Back to nature, and a free and happy life.
But dear prophet, aren't we fairly happy?
Of course not. You're tied down by traditions and narrow ideas. Do only what you want to do instead.
Do you do what you want to do? I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Here's my book on how to be happy.
Away with conscience and anxiety. Be free. Are you free? I've no idea. What if we've been living in the wrong way and must change everything? That would be very awkward, dear. Are we really as unhappy as the prophet says? Perhaps. Perhaps one ought to be free, regardless. Yes, he is right. From now on, I'm going to live in my tree, quite openly and unashamedly. Back to nature. We only live once. All responsibilities are only a nuisance. Aren't you going to live with us anymore? No, dear. The prophet says we must be free. Well, if he feels happier that way. Free? I've always felt free. But I suppose the prophet knows how things should be. Mama, why must we go back to nature? I don't know, dear. Perhaps the prophet means that we must do what we want. But I don't know what I want to do. What do we have to do to be free? Snork Maiden, why are you looking so smart? I'm going to dance. With someone else. Of course, dear. You must have heard that we've got to start a new life. A new life? And what was wrong with the old one? Hello, Moomin. Have you seen the new prophet? Have I? He's mad. His teaching about a new life is wonderful. Are you in love again? No more work. All prison bars down. So I see. We don't believe in crime anymore. Set all the prisoners free. Excuse me, prophet, but must we let out Stinky as well?
Of course, Stinky first. Complete freedom will make a good man out of him. You're all free. Come on out. Well, they might at least have thanked me.
Marvelous. The prophet has released all the prisoners. Stinky as well. Hello, Stinky. I hear you're all going to start a new life. About time, too. Yes, we're told that we must be free. You'll never manage to be that without me. Oi, got anything good up there? Yes, Stinky. But that muck, I'll teach you how to make Manhattan dynamite. But isn't this illegal? You know what the prophet says. We must do just what we like. Why, of course, that's true. Come with me, I'll show you some things to make you feel good. This is going to be a real snorter of a drink. And you're quite sure it's allowed? Well, dry up. Try it and see how you like it. Yes, it is really strong. Now, you nip off home and get some empty bottles. Of course, but you know that I don't live at home any longer. I'm living in my tree now. But are you sure, dear, that this Manhattan dynamite is good for your stomach? I hope so, dear. I thought that this sort of thing wasn't allowed. But my dear, the prophet says that everything is allowed. I wonder whether they haven't misunderstood this complete freedom just a wee bit. It was smart of you to leave home. I had to. The prophet says back to nature. It's only old maids who live at home. I suppose so. Cheers. Here's to freedom. Are you alright? Yes, but it's so wet. Don't you want your umbrella, dear? No, thanks, dear. Are you sure you're enjoying your life of freedom up there, dear? Of course, darling. It's so independent. Poor dear. His pride won't let him come home again, and there's nothing I can do for him. How cozy it looks inside. Why did I choose the tree life? But I mustn't be a softie. I can go back now. Come on, old boy, pull yourself together. We'll go to the inn and pass around the Manhattan Dynamite. But I usually take the family with me when I go out on a spree. What a lot of middle-class nonsense. Look, Snork Maiden is dancing with a man I've never set eyes on before. No wonder, she must be fed up with your son. Hi, boys. We'll stand you all in Manhattan Dynamite. What will Moomin say? I've started a new free life, and so have you. Here's to the prophet who has brought us a free life. There he is. Have a drink. We've done exactly what you told us to do.
No, thank you, my dear disciples. I drink only lemonade.
Oh, my stomach. How uncomfortable this wild life is. Now I must sleep all alone in my tree in the rain. I'm too proud to go home and admit that I was a fool. Oh, Moomin Mama has been here and built a roof for me, and she's left sandwiches and aspirins. You really mean you're going to run off with me? Of course, we must start the new life. And what are we going to live on? Perhaps you can fetch a little bag of food from home? Moomin Mama dear, can I have some food? I'm going to be run off with. Oh dear me. Do you want sausages or cheese? Poor little Snork Maiden. He looks such a wet. Here is the food. Are you used to running off with women, young man? Not really, but we are trying to follow the prophet's teaching about the free life. Poor children, and my poor Moomin. What do you think of my new hairstyle? Is it something else that crazy prophet has thought up? He's right. Everything should be free. Snork Maiden has been run off with. Papa is drinking Manhattan Dynamite up a tree. Some freedom. Well, why don't you do something for yourself? Just wait. I'm going to be the freest of the lot of you. I'm going to be a highwayman. Just wait. I'll show them. I lead a wilder life than any of them. That's the stuff. There's hope for you yet. I'm desperate. Now I'll do just anything. Psst! Can you see them? Don't you like being run off with? Of course, naturally. Didn't we do it properly? Oh, do shut up. But I should never have run off with you if you hadn't agreed to it. That's just what's wrong with it. How awful. How exciting. Excuse me a minute. Must go and buy some cigarettes. He's afraid of Black Hand. He'll never come back. I do hope Black Hand will run off with me. He's sure to be much more of a man than that. Aha, my fair damsel. Tremble before Black Hand. Alas, I am undone. Ha! Now you are in my power. How wonderfully romantic. Make some soup for me at once. Immediately. Don't you recognize your old Moomin? Him. How shameless. You are not Black Hand. You are only that milk-sopped Moomin after all. Well, I did run off with you. You've made a fool of me. Stinky, what shall I do? Something really daring to impress her. What about breaking into the jeweler's? She loves jewels, but isn't it awfully bad to commit a burglary? You said just now that you would do anything. A good thing the window was broken already. Let's hope the jeweler won't be too upset. But it is for her. What was that noise? Aha, my rival. What are you doing here? I thought that if I could get some jewels for Snork Maiden, she would like you more than me, huh? You'll see whose jewelry she chooses. How cold it is sleeping outside. I can go home. I said I'd be run away with. Oh. Shall I be proud or fair, only natural? Shall I take neither lot, or one of them, or both? Look what your crazy teaching has done.
But it is a good thing for people to do what they want.
It is indeed. Then I shall do what I want to do. I'll put the rascals back in prison again.
Then they won't learn to be good in a natural way.
Good, huh? Perhaps in any case, it would be fun to be proud and not take him. But I'll take the dedication as a souvenir. And one little jewel would never be noticed. Aha, my little woman. What is this? I just found them. Someone must have dropped them. Good morning. There's been a burglary. The policeman has started to lead a wild life too. It's Moomin's birthday. so he must come home today. And the others will certainly come too. They must be tired of their freedom. No one's come home. They've even forgotten a birthday. I'm fed up with all this. Now I'm going to lead a free life as well. I'm going a long, long way away to collect seashells for myself. Darling, you chose my necklace. So what? Papa, shall we go fishing? Don't bother me. I've got a headache. Mimble, come and talk to me. I'm unhappy. I haven't got time. The prophet is lecturing at 6 o'clock on the art of being happy. I'm fed up with this free life. I'm going home to Mama again. I forgot my birthday. Mama, Mama. Dear family, I'm fed up and angry with you all. I too am going to lead a free life. Moomin Mama. Papa, Snorkmaid, Mimble, Mama has disappeared. And she wrote that she's fed up with us and our free life? That's right, I am too. When we've found her again, we'll go home and live just as we did before. Now, it's high time to put a spanner in the works. Fly to the Black Prophet at 4 Puritan Street and say, come at once. They are leading an evil life in Moomin Valley. And on the way there, tell Sniff to come here. There's going to be all sorts of fun. Mama's apron. She's thrown her apron away. She must be desperate. Her handbag. This looks bad. She's out of her mind. What are you doing? I'm leading a free life too, without any ties, my dear. Go away and leave me alone. Hello, Sniff. Have you heard the latest? Sure, Moomin family are living immorally. No, it'll only be immoral when their conscience starts to worry them. That'll be a good laugh. Look who's here. A new prophet. Is this the wicked Moomin Valley? This is it. Everybody's leading a terrible life here. I can't imagine how you can have lived with no conception of guilt, sin, and punishment. Doesn't he speak well? You have followed false prophets and brought about your own destruction. How true. Stomachache and a thick head. Start a new life of duty, sacrifice, and self-denial. He's right. I've lived a dreadful life. How could I? Illicit distilling. Manhattan dynamite too. How monstrous. Farewell, my hotch and bootleg face. Lemonade from now on. Didn't I say that remorse would pay? The new prophet says that it's a sin to look too attractive. Goodbye to my beautiful anklet. This is beginning to pay. I must cut off my fringe and go into a nunnery. Mimble, I've cut off my hair and am going into a nunnery. I'd cut mine too, but what if the new prophet thinks it's ugly? In the new teaching, one must never be in love. Of course, but even so, he's much smarter than the old prophet. What a sight you look. I don't care what I look like. But you ought to go and confess about the burglary. Don't you regret anything? Come on, ask each other's forgiveness. Well, rival, all is forgotten. Almost. A new life without women. For you. And now, go to the police and confess to the burglary. But it was in your honor. Dear police, we are the ones who stole the jewels. We want to go to jail. Has everybody gone mad? Hundreds of confessions since this morning. The jail is full. But we want to go home. This new prophet's teachings are worse than the old ones. Have you gone crazy? Black? My dear son, it is to remind us that joy is not eternal. That prophet has turned your heads. And what are you doing? Taking all fun things to the attic? A Christmas tree allowed? I don't know until I've asked the prophet. Stop eating. Why? The new prophet has said that all that is good is a sin, and pancakes are good. What a pity. Now we shall eat only oat gruel, and it must be a bit burned. You've burned the gruel on purpose. Of course. The prophet has said that it is cleansing too. I'm sick of your old prophets. You make everything sad and paint the house black. Look out for the tar barrel. Oops. Ha! Now you've made me black, too. You seem to have swallowed the new prophet's teachings whole. We shall now begin to work for others. You can repaper for Mrs. Filion, and I will mow the neighbor's lawn. It's rather nice to feel noble. What are you doing? I love long grass. Oh, do you? Imagine how surprised Mrs. Filion will be when we've repapered her room. I feel so good. She's coming. Oh, I hate flower patterns, and now I'll have to live with one for the rest of my life. It was nice to have a little time off. Hello, everybody. Now I know how to live a free life, but what's the matter with you all? There's a new prophet, dear, and his teaching is just as difficult as the old ones. Aren't you leading a free life anymore? No, just the opposite.
You and your killjoy hypocrisy.
You immoral rake. Come on, have it out. Hit hard, both of you. Stop fighting at once. Be quiet, both of you, and come home and drink a cup of tea instead. Both of you teach nice things, but you must understand, it's all a little unpractical for ordinary people. Goodbye. Come and see us again sometime. Isn't it lovely to be living normally again? Yes. Do you think it will be long before my fringe grows again? Come and look, I've got a surprise. I found the place where Stinky and Sniff hid our things. Oh, my lovely anklet. It isn't easy life I'm in. Perhaps it isn't, but it's full of variety.